Hey there, I hope you're having an amazing day today. So love has been really hot for me right now. I think it's because I'm getting to the point where I have to choose. And that's kind of where I want to go with today's message, is, when the universe was created, it was created with the two. I've talked about this for a while now. God split from itself part of itself, and it created the right hand and the left hand of God, the two twin flames. And then from there, these two came together, created the angelic realm. You had the first two firstborn angels, which is Rashael and Amena, and then the archangels, the other angels. Then you had the ethereal plane, astral plane, and the material plane. That's how all the universe was created. That's what I was shown. If you were shown something different, there you go. You know what? My motto is you do you, boo. This is my perspective. This is my truth. But with that said, the problem with having just a two-party system, we know that here in the US, or a two-party universe is, like I've mentioned before, it's like an arranged marriage. What happens when you are forced to marry someone or forced to be with someone who decides, you know what? I want to be God. I'm not interested in what God has to say. I want to be God, and therefore I am going to manipulate and trick you and make you believe that I have your best interest, and I'm going to love bomb you, and I'm going to wear a mask, and I'm going to pretend that I'm in love with you, and then I'm going to over-empower you and enslave you into my own utopia, my own system. And then I'm going to mirror you in everything you are, steal from you, and then I'm going to become an ego. So to me, being on the end of that, the end of the one that was manipulated, controlled, and taken advantage of, oppressed, suppressed, and abused and neglected, and all that good stuff for eons and eons and years and years and years. I'm like, I don't want anything to do with that system. That is a fail system to me. That is a hell loop where you get stuck and you're on a carousel and there's no way off. Great, so I have a soulmate. Okay, great, so I have a twin flame. So you're telling me that person who's a liar, a cheater, an abuser, a manipulator, a killer, a sociopath, a psycho, all that good stuff, I have to unconditionally love that person and be with them. And I don't get any choice because that's all you made for me. I don't like that system. I don't like the system here in the US. It's a failed system. It's the same fucking system. What do you do when one party becomes toxic? The other party becomes toxic, and then they use the government as a power, a ways to control the masses and enslave them. Welcome to the universe. It's a mirror. It's exactly what happened. And this all started back here on Earth in the days of Egypt. I talked about that in a video that took me 2 days to upload. Weird. But anyway, I don't subscribe to that. I don't have to. See, we have totally different opinions on love. You want traditional, just me and you, and that's it. We focus on each other and then there's nothing else. But if you become toxic or you become not a nice being, then I'm stuck with you. Where am I going to go? Who am I going to go to? And then on the flip side of that is the other opinion, which is, well, I want to be free. I want to be able to be with whoever I want, whether that's in a poly or a multi-relationship, whatever title you want to give it. I know that my love is not contained to just one person. My love is infinite. I can be in love with everyone and everything. That is my understanding. I don't have to be hyper-focused on pouring my love into one individual, because what I found is when I've done that as an empath, as you as an empath, we're dealing with these narcissists, is you pour your love and all your energy into them. You're pouring that energy into them and they're taking it and they're extending it out to other women and other things, their companies, their corporations, their government, everything, their systems. So they're taking your energy and giving it to others. Well, why would I do that? But the flip side is I want to be free from you because you take my energy and then you go out and you give it to others. I'm going to keep my energy and I'm just going to go give it to others. And I don't want anything to do with you. You see this, where we're going with this? This is some interesting shit to me. And you look at nature, right? I just talked about this on my other video. I'm going to read because this is fascinating to me. Look at the different types of love dynamics we have. We have animals that will mate for life, right? Here, your religion is kind of based in that. Not all of it, but for the majority, you know, a man marries a woman and you're bound by your marriage and you sign that paperwork. And if you're in the Catholic Church, you have to go to the church to tell them I don't even know. You have to have them annul your marriage because you're not a capable person of being able to do that because the church is the one that tells you what to do with your own marriage and your own home, not even knowing what you're going through. And marriage is only between a man and a woman. What if your man is abusive, a liar, a manipulator, a thief, all that good stuff? I don't want anything to do with that. So that's one dynamic. Another dynamic is bees and ants. They have a queen. The queen runs everything. She's the producer. And the other ants, they go out and do all the work. The reverse dynamic is the lion and the lionesses. The masculine, the male lion, he is the pride. He's the ruler. He rules over everything and he sits there while the females do all the work. And he sleeps with all of them. Isn't this interesting? I just find this absolutely fascinating. You literally have two ends of the spectrum, two different points of view, except they're kind of doing the same thing. The masculine rules over and sleeps with all the feminine. The female has all the masculines working for her and she's the producer. This is some fascinating shit to me because both perspectives are right. They're true. They exist, right? What's the answer? What's the solution? Is there even a solution to this dynamic? I think, me personally, I think it's all about, first off, number one, knowing thyself. You have to know who you are, what you like, what you don't like, what your values are, what your principles are, what you're willing to put up with, what you're not willing to put up with, what you desire. Do you desire to be with just one person? I don't know. Maybe some people are built like that. I have actually met somebody like that. Or are you designed to be with multiple people? That's something you're going to have to figure out. And this is super important because you don't want to put yourself into a dynamic where you want to be with multiple people and then you're just stuck in a marriage. That's why people go and they cheat. Well, one of the reasons, not the only reason, but it's because your needs are not being satisfied. So that's the thing you need to figure out. What do I need? What do I want? What do I desire? Once you understand who you are, and then the second thing is you have to fall in love with yourself. This is a radical thing. This is going to sound really crazy, but it's true. You have to fall in love with yourself to the point that you will date yourself and you will sleep with yourself. Like you will have sex with yourself. And you will provide everything for yourself. You will protect yourself. You become your number one. Period. End of story. Until we get to that point as individuals, it doesn't matter what dynamic we're in because you won't know what dynamic you need to be in. And you'll force yourself or you'll be forced into a dynamic that just doesn't work for you. So number one, like I said, is you got to figure out you. You are the key. You are the answer. You will always be the answer. You will always be the solution. What the hell do you want? You're living this life here. You came here to live. And we are seeing two different perspectives, one from a material, godless perspective, and one from a God perspective. God loves everything. God is everything. So of course it's going to love everything. So anybody that comes from that place in heaven, which is closer to God, is going to feel that way. And you're going to look at things here and go, why do I want to be with just that one person? Or why do I want to be stuck in that one dynamic? Like, I love everything and everything loves me. That's not from a place of selfishness. That's from a place of literally understanding God. I'm serious. And once you get there, you'll know what I'm saying. Godless perspective, that's not even, I don't even say it's godless, because it's more of a lower vibration understanding. They do have the ability to be God. It's more of a masculine perspective. A masculine perspective who is more in the material realm, who controls the material realm, is going to be like, you're my woman. No one else can have you. And that's the end. That's the end of it. You're going to marry me and that's it. You're not going to be with anybody else. That's for the majority of men. But the crazy thing is that the men get into the relationship with you and then they go out and they sleep with other women because they can connect to other women and siphon off of those women. Whereas we're the reverse. We receive their energy and give to them. And then they take. That's why we have to learn to separate ourselves from our sexual partners. So it's a very interesting dynamic. It's a very interesting place, I think, that we're going to, because it brings into question, is there really unconditional love? Because unconditional love says there's no boundaries, there's no limits. I can love and be in love and be with anyone and anything at any time. I have that capacity. I have done that in this experience. Been with multiple people at the same time in different timelines. Or if you're in like a threesome or a foursome, what's wrong with that? Says who? Why? Is there love? As long as there's love, as long as there's a mutual understanding between everybody, why not? Says who? Question is can these two exist and still respect each other and say, you know what, I don't agree with how you're living your life, but that's okay. It's not my life. It's your life. If that's what makes you happy and you're doing it with the right energy, with the right intentions, then so be it. That's where I think we need to get to, is that level of understanding that I accept you for who you are, for what you desire, what you want, and what you need. May not be in alignment with me, but that's okay. You go do you, I'll go do me. This is why I don't think I'm going to be with my twin flame, my soulmate. I feel his energy. It's intense. Woo! I want to be with him. I love him. But we fundamentally disagree when it comes to these core issues. I don't want to be with just one person. I do want to be in a relationship with one person, but I also want the freedom and the flexibility to have multiple partners. I don't think he has the capacity to do that. So I'm not sure if that dynamic's going to work for me. So then I am at a pivotal point, maybe you are as well, as choosing my twin flame / soulmate who may not be in alignment with me and going on my own and creating for myself, through my vision, my purpose, my utopia. It's interesting. I think it's a very interesting dynamic. And I think it's going to be really interesting to see how this one plays out, to be honest with you. So anyway, I love you. I hope you have an amazing day. Check you later. I had to do another ad on here. Because when I realized the limited two-party system dynamic with the twin flame and the soulmate, and realized that this is not a healthy dynamic, I remember having a conversation with God and saying, hey, I don't want this anymore. I want choice. Because you made the choice to create the two that created the universe, that went corrupt, that went toxic, that went dysfunctional, and then now we have all of this. This was not a fun experience for me. This is not how I want to live my movie. I refuse to play the victim role and to be in this state of suffering because I have one soulmate or one twin flame. I'm not subscribing to that, especially when they've proven that they're toxic and all they want to do is dominate and be God. They're not my God. That's the problem. I said, I'm not doing it. You're my God. I subscribe to God, the real God, not a fake God, not a demagogue, not someone pretending to be God and trying to control and manipulate me. Whether that's in the material plane, whether that's in the astral plane, emotional abuse or emotional manipulation, whether that is manipulating minds with corrupting your downloads or corrupting your thought processes and programming and conditioning, or intercepting your connection to God so that they could be God. I'm not subscribing to that. Sorry, not sorry. I want choice, and I will have choice. I'm not living in that system anymore. I'm not doing it. I said no more. I said, I want choice. This time, I get to choose what life is right for me, what partner is right for me or partners, and how I want to live my existence, how I want to perceive and create my movie. That's where you're at. Choice. And it's fantastic because I was having a conversation with God about this today. I was like, wow, I've got all these options. God just laughed. Yeah, that's what you wanted. I was like, yeah. Now I have to actually sit down and I'm going to make a list. And I'm going to thoroughly define everything that I want, need, and desire that's right for me. And then I'm going to categorize these potentials. What do they have? What do they don't have? And even everything in my life. And I am going to create my life my way, because I don't have the interference energies anymore. I don't have the control energies anymore. I don't have the individuals that attack me or send people my way or do all the stupid things that they do with their hexes and curses and all that garbage. I don't have that anymore. I've healed out of it. I was able to see what they were doing and stop them, reverse it, give it back. Karma. Because that's the only way they're going to learn. I mean, if you think it's good enough to do what you're doing to me, well then, no thanks. I don't want that gift. That's not even a gift. I don't want it. That's yours. You take it. I don't accept that. You go and be with other individuals like you. I'm going to go be with other individuals like me because it's my life and I choose. So I think it's interesting because choice. You that are like me have free will choice. You have choice here. You have healed to the point and you have done the work to the point where you are now attracting things, people, places, and things in your life that are more aligned with who you are and who you want to be. Now you get to choose which ones you want, which ones you don't want. That's the key. The key is, number one, know thyself. Number two, practice discernment, because not everybody is for you. You better know what energy is yours and what's not. Also, you need to understand the energy game. because this is all energy. If someone's sending you negativity, send it right back. Not my problem. That's yours. That's not mine. Flip it back. Don't play their game. And then the next thing is choose. From a conscious aware perspective, okay, now I choose. This is where I'm going. This is the pathway. I'm going to engage and work with this person, this person, this person, this person. And I'm going to build this. Here we go. I love you.